recording. My mic okay? My mic is okay. It will be a post. Yeah. What are these chart colors, bro? Let me fix this real quick. So we need this gradient, right? And then what is that? Symbol white, blue. So, and then with the scales as well. So let me put that white. Okay. So when you go on the 50-minute, right? We trade the 50-minute. Now obviously, this week's gold PA, last week gold PAs were pretty ass. Like I can't lie, gold was fucking ass. But like, for example, looking at gold here, realistically speaking, if you look at the 1 hour, let's say 1 hour, right? We are in the supply, but if you see this run on gold, right? This run on gold, either we have to reject from this supply area here, or we are going to all-time high, right? It's very simple because let's say we have this supply here, right? After this supply, there's no real supply. Okay, there's this supply, but like, you know, this is like a fucking 400 pip supply. Like, you know, you could take 10 fucking trades in this supply, so it's very risky. But obviously, if there's a trade, then I will take it. But like, it's very, very likely. Now, of course, since it did happen, I can say that. But like, it's very, very likely we will take this high. It's very, very likely after we break the supply. If we don't break the supply, then obviously we could come lower. But you have to realize that once gold breaks 2100, which is like it's like a decent number that it could easily continue, especially with the pace it had here. Like this was like we had news, okay, but this was not because of news, right? And I remember I got fucked. Like I had this fucking crazy trade, right? I had this crazy trade on gold here, but afterwards I got fucked on shorts like crazy, but that's fine. So we're in the supply, okay? The supply is pretty big, so you're gonna wait for a 5-minute potential chalk flip, which you had right here, right? So what you had was we had the highs here. Which you have, so you have the high here, you put in a high, you put in a pretty good reaction, then you come sweep that high, the same high you break, right? Retest already was made, you can see exactly the retest is here, so that could have been an entry, right? So what we want now is for price to break these lows, to continue looking for sales, potentially towards this area of demand, right? This is a simple nice demand here, because like it's not very likely that gold is going to go back to 2040, so we're going to keep it very simple, okay? But if it does not come back, then we'll look obviously for buys to the upside. How do you have our session? Please, anyone, I just joined today. What do you mean, bro? How do we have our sessions? Anyways, so what are you gonna wait for? A simple.
Yo, Flexx.
Yo.
How many trades would you say you take today on one account?
1 or
Per
2.
day?
For example, I had 2 trades today. I had one before CPI, yeah, let me show on trading view, which was fucked. Like actually it was a fucked trade because I took this trade right here, right? I took this trade on the retest of this retest right after the break. But if you go to the 1 minute, I got stopped out by like a fucking, it was actually close. I think I got spreaded out at this point. So we had this flip, right? After this flip, I entered right here. I got filled like here, which is pretty ass. But I was targeting pretty low. Then price came back into this supply, right? And after I saw the reaction of the supply, I just trailed my stop to this low because I was actually fucking half asleep, so I didn't want to really manage my trade. And then price came to retest and it spreaded me out, which I guess was kind of ass. But like, if I did hold a trade, right, which was a simple trade, a simple continuation trade. Let's say, for example, I enter here. No, that's actually a big one. No, actually opposite. Let's say this. I mean, the breakdown is gonna come later as well. I would simply have targeted this demand, right? And if you ask me why this demand is because, let me take a look. I would target this demand. Now let me go back because on the 3 minute, for example, if you see demands like this, you have to refine it a little bit more. Now we know that these demands have get tagged, but since we do come back to this demand, it's proper that this is just liquidity built up, right? Because we come back to a demand for a third time, and you just have to realize that this is inducement and we'll probably mitigate a little bit more deeper, right? And if you look, we did exactly that, right? Exactly just by the wick, right? So you wick in it, and then you just go up, right? And then afterwards you had CPI, right? Whatever. but you would be out before CPI. Obviously, CPI dropped a little bit more, and then, like, for example, after CPI dropped, it was very clear that these two lows are gonna get taken. Why? Because this is NFP low, and this is CPI low. So price was very, very attracted to these lows. Like, it's a very common sense, because the liquidity of news lows are very, very, like, you have to think, like, for example, how many people stop loss would be at this low, right? Because CPI is like 100 times more volume than general. So we know exactly that these lows are gonna get taken if there's confirmation. And obviously gold reacted kind of fucking weird from here. Like, okay, we had a nice, you know, supply here, and the reason why you take the supply like this instead of this is, for example, if you go to 3 minute, it's all nice, but this is like a very small supply considering for gold, right, at 1 pip supply. But if you look at the 50 minute, because it was a 50-minute break, right, because this supply kind of the reason we broke these lows. So if you look at the 50 minute, you could even take it like this, right, which is obviously still a little bit more big. That's why sometimes you can always take 2 candles instead of 1. Or, I mean, if you got the last bullish candle, then it would be the same thing. But after you came in the supply, right, we're going off context anyway, but there was no real confirmation to sell from here, right? There was no real confirmation, like I didn't even enter off this. So if you would have sold, I mean, there was a break of structure, but there was no chalk flip, so I wouldn't enter there. But afterwards, I caught a nice short, which you could have caught from here, right? What do you have? You come, you sweep the lows, but you don't sweep these lows, right? You sweep these lows, the new lows, then you put in a new low, right? So this is the supply that breaks this demand, right? This is the supply demand flip. If you want to watch the video, you have to watch the video. I explain briefly. So let's say price comes in here, right? You have no real entry, no chalk flip. So what do? You mark out your chalk flip. Now, since this is a very bad entry, you're gonna wait for the retest, right? And the retest is exactly here. So what do? You simply put your entry right here. You could have your stops here, or you could have your stops here, right? That's personal preference. And then you would just target the supply, the news low, right? The news low, which was, actually we did take the news low already. I'm kind of retarded. Okay, I guess we wait. Was that entry before the news low? Yeah, we already took the news low, so you would probably look to mitigate deeper into an area of demand, right? Which is gonna be right here. Obviously, this did mitigate, but since we are playing a continuation, because we are bearish, the risk reward is 3. If you had your stop like this, you probably would have been stopped out. I mean, would you? You probably would, but that's one trade. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah, you know when you trade news, do you wait for confirmation on the lower time frame, or
If you
do
want
you
to trade
enter
news,
aggressive?
the only way you can trade news is to wait for confirmation. Because
Oh, okay.
like otherwise it's a proper gamble, right?
Yeah, but I've seen, like, I was monitoring the news trades, and most of the time there was no confirmation on them.
For example, on CPI, there was no confirmation to
Yeah,
buy, right?
yeah,
What?
or even to sell.
Yeah, the sell was not even close to a confirmation. You would have
Yeah,
been
I
in a
know.
sell since here, maybe, you know, then you would have just
Yeah,
hold, then fine. But what you want to see for CPI is, like, the context was good, right? You come into an area of demand, right? This demand is pretty good. Why? Why is this demand good? Because you break structure. This is like a big break of structure, right? This is the 50 minute. This is that put a new high in. So this demand is valid, which we actually did bounce from, but then we came back more. So what you want CPI to have done is pre-CPI. We would want to see, for example, gold do this, right? Take these lows, then print a high, and then you could have entered or wait for the retest, right? That's up to you. If that happened, that would have been a good entry to take before CPI. But obviously, since that did not happen, there was no real trade on CPI unless you were already entered before, or maybe if you had a crazy ass limit on, you know, on this demand or whatever, then you would have caught your entry because, yeah, whatever. But that was not even close to my analysis. So now let's continue on this, right? We're gonna wait for gold to print in new lows or new highs, because now it's not really clear what gold wants to do, right? It's not really clear. It's actually Asia session anyway, so probably by London, gold will give us a clear bias where we want to go. So we can see that we break these lows, but sometimes what does price do? Price will not come to fill all the way here, and it can maybe bounce a little bit earlier. That's why we're gonna wait and look at the lower time frame, for example, the 1 minute, potentially looking for a continuation setup, right? And what you potentially can look for is that you had an area of demand here, right? You did have an area of demand. Now this demand did get induced, right? This demand did get induced. So what you want to see potential price to come to this area of demand, right? You want to see gold come to this demand. So what you're gonna have is potential multiple confirmations, right? First, you have a 1 minute demand, or you could actually take it like this. It's fine because you're gonna have confirmations at anyway. Then you have all of these liquidities built up. Even this is gonna be extra liquidity. I guess it kind of did touch in, so it could bounce here. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. I would just wait for price to pull back actually, because like it's no proper chalk flip anyway. Well, looks like price is gonna run. See, that's the thing with gold. Sometimes it does not really pull back into your area, but we'll see if it comes back or does whatever. So we can see we have taken these highs now in gold. So we're gonna wait and we're gonna see if gold wants to put in a new high or a new low, right? And then we could potentially play the continuations. But this demand would still be valid. We have a nice 5 minute demand right here because we are playing this supply and demand chain, right? We have a demand chain right here because let's say you had this demand right here. I'm just gonna mark up a random thing because this is a 3 minute demand, right? So let's say we had this demand. You have a reaction off here, right? You have the reaction off here. Then what you have is another reaction of this one. So off this one you have that reaction, right? And this demand gives us another break of structure, which is gonna be this one, right? So you keep breaking structure, so you're gonna keep on refreshing your demand zones, right? So let's say this is the candle that you know put in a new low, new high. So you're gonna wait for price to retest, right? You're gonna wait, you're gonna be patient. So price comes in, right? That's why you always have to have your demand zones perfect because it gave a fake out, but then it came back. Obviously, you're gonna wait for well, I guess there wasn't. I mean, yeah, we kind of missed it though. I can't lie. We were kind of slow. For example, what you could have seen was, you know, we had a chalk here, then you had a chalk here, and then on the retest you could have entered, but I guess we kind of missed it. And sometimes it is what it is. You miss entries. So now we're putting in new highs. It's very clear that we would put in new highs. Why? Because we keep being bullish, right? We're bullish. We know that this supply is gonna fail because we've respected this demand. And since we've respected this demand, and we keep on putting in new highs with respecting every chain of our demands, we know that we're gonna go higher, right? Now you put in a 50-minute new high, so now we're gonna look at the 5 or 50-minute, whatever you want to do. Let me delete all this. Potentially look at, let me look at a 3-minute maybe. Potentially look at this demand, right? We can take it like this. So you could look here for potential buys. And if you want to look for sells, I mean, it's very, very obvious that you wouldn't prefer sells right now. I would not really look for sells. There's not really opportunity for sells because these supply zones are so fucking big that you want to see at least a 15-minute or 5-minute structure break, right? So now we could simply play the continuations maybe. So what you see is you have a 1-minute break of structure here. Gonna simply wait for the retest of that, which is gonna be right here. Right, so once it comes back, we could actually look for an entry, or price is just gonna keep on going up, right? So you could always mark out the second demand, which obviously this could be inducement. That's why you're waiting for confirmation. So we'll wait. Again, you put in a new high, so it's the same thing. Like gold does not retrace too much, but when it does, you're getting a very good entry. Now, see, it's just running. It's running like a fucking maniac. That's why gold was kind of crazy last week. EU was also shit, so it was hard to trade. And you're going up once again. You keep going up, which is kind of crazy. But the price action of last week was very, very fast, right? And like, see how fast it comes back and jumps up. No confirmation. I mean, you could take the woman, like for example, once you see the double white candles, which I speak about on my course, which is like you have the first reaction, right? And then you have another white candle with it, or just a bullish candle. Then let's say you could have taken this, right, where you're targeting, where if you have the balls to hold, you hold to all-time high. If you don't, you look for maybe a potential, I mean, I wouldn't say a supply because like supplies are hella big, but like it's hard to really look for a target here unless you want to put in an all-time high. But then again, it's gonna take a while to move to the all-time high. So maybe, just maybe you could look for something like here, 21, 22. Right, which I don't think the RR is going to be pretty good, so maybe we could just wait for all-time high, or we could wait for a better entry maybe on the retest, whatever. But if the RR is not nice, then obviously I would not take this trade, right? If it's below like 1 or whatever, or even like below 2. Yeah, so you can see that the RR is pretty trash, 2.41. So I'd prefer a retest, or if you want to hold, you would hold to all-time high, right? So maybe if you get a retest to this demand, you can take the trade, but I mean the RR is still gonna be pretty ass, but whatever. So we could see this low as inducement, right? Because we built up liquidity as we did not tag in our demand. So this is for early buyers or sellers. I mean, this is early buyers, but bro, these fucking things are so ugly. Not gonna lie. So that was just a waiting game. It's pretty late in the evening as well. It's like 8 p.m. Comes pretty close, but not where we want it to be. So we're still gonna wait. Why am I on the 2-minute chart? Okay, so now we come in, right? There is a chalk flip right here, but we're gonna wait for the retest potentially because it's a big ass chalk flip, right? We have a retest now. Okay, we have a decent reaction. Could look for buys here, right? Could put a stop here or put it below, depends on the risk reward. TVH. The risk reward is like 10.3, so you could actually play a little bit better, right? Risk, let's say 1%, whatever. Let's go market. Let's see if we get cooked or not. Okay, well, we gotta go to 5-minute now. Okay, see, that's the difference between putting your stop below this low or what are those rectangle? I don't know, bro. They're fucking ugly. Like, don't ask me. So, you know, now we see that price has taken these lows. So, you know, you didn't get induced there. If you had your stop loss on that low, you kind of got cooked there. So, it was good that we had our stop loss just below the low of the demand. Now, what we keep seeing is printing new higher highs. So, where gold could come lastly before potentially keep dumping is here, right? I don't want to see gold lower than here. So, you could potentially move your stop here, which is almost at break even, right? And maybe you could even look for a scale in here. So we're simply gonna wait for the 1 minute. Well, looks like we're not getting the retest. So it was very close, right? It was very, very close. At least our idea was correct, right? The idea was correct. If you got it like this, it was right, but whatever. So price did come in, did it give a retest, right? It gave the chalk flip, it gave the retest, so every entry criteria was there. So this was a good trade anyhow. So 4.7R, whatever. Now you're in this supply, but this supply is big. It's very, very big, right? So that's why 1 minute chalk flip won't do the deal. You're gonna wait for like 5 minutes, 15 minutes. You know, that's why you're simply gonna wait. But what do we see? Price does mitigate our demand that broke our supply, right? So that shows me that there's still bullish confidence in the market, and that price wants to keep going up, right? So now what I'm looking for is potential price to pull back into this area and then play the all-time highs once again, because now we're getting pretty close to the all-time highs. Now you can see that gold keeps printing new higher highs. So you're just going to keep, again, putting the continuation mode on and trading that, okay? So now we come in, well, you do have, see, that's why the two white candles or the two bullish candles have a better reaction of just chalk flip, right? Even if you have the chalk flip, it's kind of the same. Let's say, for example, you would have entered right here, right? So it's not that bad. But we want a retest potential. Okay, I'm just gonna see that as liquidity. Okay, so I would take the trade here. Right, stops to be this low. And potential targeting where? That's a good question, right? Now, since this is very far away, we have to scroll all the way back. Right? Where are we looking to TP, right? Where are we looking to TP? Maybe have a 3-minute supply. I don't fucking know. It's crazy how fucking far this is, bro. Can't lie. Maybe TP at this high, right? The reason why you would TP at this high is because this high mitigates into an area of supply, right? But we think that there's built up liquidity inside this area. First of all, there's There's like hella shorters right now. There's like everyone and the grandpa is shorting gold right now. We all know that because I shorted gold myself and I got cooked. So you know we know everybody's shorting gold. But if everyone shorts gold, gold's gonna go up, right? Because it's liquidity. So we expect gold to take these highs. Obviously, it could take all-time highs, but it's gonna take time. Like it won't just straight up wick up there. Maybe if we get that liquidity, we get that fake out to the downside, and then we get a continuation once again to the all-time highs. That would be a better one, okay? So we're simply gonna wait for that. It's very simple. So this is a mitigate into a supply. We want price to come into the supply, go a little bit more deeper, refine it, fill the orders, take this liquidity, and even induce all of this here, right? Induce this supply, induce these highs. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting, right? So where the fuck was that? 2135.6. So this would be your trade, right? And if it fails, then you're just gonna go for the lower demand. It's very simple. What's this? I don't know. Okay, so you get stopped straight away. Then you're looking for the second demand, next demand, right? What should go up now? That would be crazy. That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy. Not gonna lie. What the hell? Okay, so we were proper liquidity. We were actually proper liquidity, Mr. Liquidity. What the hell? Anyways, so there's TP, right? Now it goes a little bit higher into TP. Now let's see what the reaction is. We're still not all-time high. All-time high is like 2145. I think 2144, whatever. So you see that reaction is crazy. That dump is crazy. Now what I want to see price do, since we broke a 5 minute / 15 minute break of structure, we want to see continuation plays out. So exactly as we said, take the first up candle, which is this one, right? So we want to see gold pull back into this demand if it can. Or actually, are we refining too much? Maybe we can take this demand, right? Can do it like this. Wait for gold to pull back into here, which it did. Now we're looking for continuations to the all-time highs, okay? Because we have double liquidity. Everyone in the grandpa thinking, okay, we're fucking short, we're dumping, let's fucking go short this bitch. Everyone is hyped as hell, but you know, gold is gold, and gold's gonna cook everyone. So what we could see is this break is nice. We have a nice break of structure right here, right? So now you would just wait for the retest to the demand, which is a fucking big one anyway, right? It would be this one. So we're actually just gonna wait for a small tap in back. And I see another white. Okay, so this is enough for me to consider I'm gonna go long, right? What you have is simple. 50-minute demand, right? We have a 50-minute break of structure, 50-minute demand. We have a 1-minute break of structure inside the demand. We retest the demand. Once we retest demand, we have two bullish candles, right? Which, if you go to my entry model, I explain exactly why. Even you can wait for the chalk flip. This high to break for a chalk flip. Like your entry won't be that crazy worse. But this is the idea, right? And then obviously the TP is gonna be all-time highs, right? So where's all-time highs? Do I have to go to the 4-hour? 4-hour. Here it shows 2145, but the all-time high is actually 2150, which it doesn't show here, but it is actually 2150 because on TradingView it is. Let me show if I actually can see. On some brokers it's not. Yeah, bro, what? This is actually fucking crap. Let me see how much it is here. So here is 2150. Yeah, see 2149. So on different brokers, there's different ones, but I would just say 2151.50 flat. You know, have a nice number. This would be the trade, right? And then you're gonna enter and you're gonna fucking wait. And that's it. Now we're gonna scroll past. You have a nice reaction. Now you have a break of structure. Maybe we can have a scaling, right? We're gonna see. Is there a potential scaling? Get a wick down, get a wick up. Again, nice reaction. Get a scaling. Stops to be this low this time. The other one we're not gonna trail because you don't like if the other one hits SL, but the other one, like for example, if we hit stop here but we don't hit this stop here, you're gonna be pretty mad, okay? So that's why you're gonna keep it simple. Now you enter again. Nice reaction. I think that was news actually. So you get cooked on that one. So that's one stop, right? Let me delete this one. Now what we're gonna see is potential retest to this demand maybe, because we're still bullish, right? We still think that we're gonna sweep the all-time highs, because we are still in this demand, right? We've not broken this demand, and this is still a 15-minute strong demand. Obviously, it could take these lows and then go up again, but I'll simply long again. So very simple. Like, if you hit stop, but price still goes to your target, you're just fucking long again. It's very simple. And the risk reward is gonna cover anyway. So now wait, see for the retest here, maybe get another long in, right? Because we're confident in ourselves. So now we're in the demand, right? Get a chalk flip maybe. The body, like, we didn't close above, so there's no real valid chalk flip. Now, I mean, we could enter here actually. So now we can enter another long position here, right? This is just, you're gonna forget about your other position, and you're gonna act like it doesn't exist, and you're just gonna try to trade this one. So risk reward is kind of crazy, I can't lie. What the hell in the bottom class? But we'll see if it hits. If it doesn't hit, then it doesn't. Whatever the fuck it is. Watch it get cooked in 3 seconds. Come on, you know me. Okay, we got cooked on that one. Now we'll wait, see what price does. Let me see on the 5 minute. We've been, see, this was the trade I actually took myself, and I was in that trade for like fucking 24 hours or something. It was kind of crazy. The stop was correct. Yes. Okay, now we wait. Potentially long again, right? We're gonna wait. Now we do have a nice break of structured upside. So now what confluences do we have, right? Because you're not gonna long every demand every time. So now what confluences you have is, first of all, we took out all of this liquidity. We took out this liquidity if there's any. We mitigated this demand zone, which if you would have refined this demand zone would have been valid, right? Which is this one. Obviously this one was inducement. It was not a clear break above. Did we long that? I don't think we did long that. No, we didn't long that, so that was a smart thing from us. We long actually this. So now we'll wait for the retest, right? And we'll see if we go up from here. If we don't, we don't, you know? We're about to get cooked. Okay, now we have our chalk flip. Once again. Now you did go below the demand zone, but obviously that's not that deep because of we're gonna long 15 times, we're gonna SL 15 times, and then the one time we don't enter, it's gonna go to TP. Watch, trust me, it happens so much. It's Asia as well. Fucking hell, we're cooked. Okay, that's a nice continuation. Now what do you see? Very simple break of structure. So now we only have to see a retest here, right? That's why you can simply trail your stops, potentially get a re-entry, whatever. So the stops are gonna be break even or even trailing here. You get cooked on the trail in, okay? And watch you go to TP. I'll be fucking mad. Nah, this can't be real. This cannot be real, fam. Okay, so I guess you know, trailing your stop is not the smartest idea, because this would have been a 23R. Watch you go TP. Trust me. Ooh, that's crazy. That wick is actually crazy. But what do we see? We see price pull back into this area of demand. We have not taken all-time highs, so we're not no pussy. We're not gonna short. We're gonna potentially look for longs, but obviously there's no point to long here. We're in this demand, right? It's a big-ass demand, I know, but once we see the chalk flip, we can look for an entry if the risk reward is actually decent. Alright, but I don't think the risk reward is gonna be any good, I'll be honest. Yeah, this is not any good, so we'll just wait it out. Bro, it's teasing, crazy. That's actually crazy. That's actually crazy fucking cool. So yeah, TP. So we kind of got cooked on the 22RR trade. This would have been 22R. It's actually fucking crazy ass trade. Which if you didn't trail your stops, so that's why don't be a bitch. Don't trail your stops. Right, so what did we take? We took one loss, one win, three losses, 2 wins, 3 losses, right? And we're still up 5.7%. That's a very decent amount. So now what's next? What's gold gonna do? We have no fucking idea, okay? Gold broke structure. Now we have to see obviously if the break of structure is gonna be, it's gonna be hard or not. but we did indicate back into this demand, so I think we're gonna continue going up, right? Keeping in mind that we did sweep all-time highs and we keep pushing up, but there's no certainty, so we're just gonna wait. Okay, now it's clear that we're going up, so you want to keep longing, right? You don't want to short here because it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, right? So we're simply waiting for price to pull back to area of demand, right? Right here. You wait for 1 minute, confirmation with you had a 1 minute nice reaction, maybe get a pullback and then get a chalk flip inside it. That would be nice, right? So here I would be taking buys because we pull back into demand, we had a nice chalk flip, and now I would target, I mean, the thing with this is we have no fucking idea where we're gonna target. Like, for example, here you would have fucking no idea. So I think we're gonna just let our target run, which is something you should never do actually, but we can actually look at this. And trail your stop on each way, right? And I think that's gonna be the best thing to do at this point because you're trading the all-time highs, you have no fucking clue where you're going. So maybe trailing your stop is the best idea. So now we want to see potential retest here, get a nice entry up, or come back here is also fine. Okay, looks like we're coming back here. I guess that's fucking slow as hell. Okay, so there was a retest, right? Okay, crazy ass wick. So now at this point, we should not come below this demand, right? So now you trail your stop, and once a break happens again, you're gonna long again maybe, and then move your stop again. So now we wait because this shit is volatile as hell, crazy things, big man things, big man stop loss, go crazy. Okay, now we're getting cooked. Okay, now we took a very small loss, right? That was so that was a 0.3R, which is very small. So now we would be looking for this area of demand, right? Which is the demand that broke all of these supplies, and then just have all of these as liquidity, aka inducement, right? That's what we would look for. Otherwise, it's very, very hard to trade all the all-time highs, right? Because we have no supply, we don't know where gold's gonna react from. Now we come into this area of demand, pushing a bit lower, taking out all these lows. Now we could look for a longs here, right? We have nice continuation here, but looking for longs, very simple. Well, we're gonna target the highs here, I think. Or maybe let it run once again. I think the highs are fine. I think we'll go for the highs and then maybe we can have a scale in, whatever. But like this is very hard price action to trade because not the price action, but that we're trading at the all-time high is very hard. Like I've never traded an all-time high before, I can't lie. So I don't even know what to do. I'll just try to make the best out of it. We get a retest here after we sweep that low. Okay, that's nice. Get a chalk flip. Okay. I mean, we did kind of miss the entry, but that's still fine. What's this RR look like? Pretty shit, so we're gonna extend our TPs on that one. Let's see where we go, okay. And once we break this high, that would be good. Yeah, get me. Okay, so now we're breaking highs once again, very nice. We would be looking for continuations of this demand. We're in a supply, yes we are. We don't know if it's gonna react from here, we don't. So I guess you just gotta risk it for the biscuit kinda. So you keep making these printing new highs, so obviously trailing our stop here because we're trading all-time highs, right? If this was our real target, then you would not trade your stop and you would just hold to TP anyway. So you're simply gonna wait and see what happens. Obviously, if it does hit your trail stop, you're just in profit anyway. So you're kind of chilling, and then it could go to TP, whatever. Because we're trading all-time highs, you have no clue, right? And this thing, it shows again that it goes to TP, whatever. But now this is about to be next week, and this week was more clear for me, right? This week was very more clear on gold because of the fact that we had more consolidation and place to react from. Because If you're trading ping pong, consolidation is the best thing to trade, because if we have consolidation, for example, this is what gold is doing, right? It goes here, goes blah blah blah, then it goes down a little bit more, goes up, goes back here. If you trade this is very perfect for ping pong, because you're literally selling the supply and then buying from demand. It's very simple. It's like support resistance, right? It's very simple. But now we had this crazy. This was NFP. I actually caught very nice buys on NFP. But you know, we have this big ass demand here, right? This is like a huge ass demand. So maybe because we broke this structure here, we get maybe a retest and then long back up until the highs, because it's very bullish. Like there's no point for price to pull back now into lower areas, because you just retested the demand, which I guess we're not getting any entries. So now 2190 was an all-time high for blueberry markets, I think. I'm not sure, but I think it was. It's not showing, but blueberry market, which is another broker, had 2190 at its all-time high. So we could look for a potential reaction off this area, right? So what you're simply gonna wait for is man-like chalk flip, right? Which is right here. This is man-like chalk flip, you know, the best entry model on earth. Where are you looking to long to? I would reckon, I would reckon towards here, right? 2170 kinda. This is the trade you would take. Right, it's a very nice sell. I need to go to sleep, Assalamu alaikum. Life helped me a lot, but confirmation tango. No problem, bro. This is the trade we were taking, right? And that's because we had the confluence of 2190 being all-time high. If this was nowhere, we would not take this trade, even if it's a chalk flip. Like a 1 minute chalk flip does not fucking mean anything in a random ass zone, right? You always want to keep in mind that it has to be inside a supply or demand or a crazy ass liquidity point, which is all-time highs, right? So this is very simple setup, and then once again you could look for buys up towards where? Towards the supply here, right? We could be looking for buys towards the supply. So let's see what gold does. Actually, we kind of missed the entry, but whatever. Maybe get a retest. If you don't, then fuck knows actually. But it's late Friday, right? So there's no real entry here. So we're gonna wait for Monday and see what Monday does. So this is Monday, okay? So we're waiting for price to pull back into my area of supply. Now we could take the supply a little bit bigger because of the fact that actually let me take it like this. Take it like this, fine. Right, we take our supply like this. See a pullback inside it, maybe. So it looks like it did mitigate into the 15-minute area, which is okay. We did have the chalk flip now, so we could maybe get a retest onto here. If not, we could look for just simple 1 minute continuation cells, right? So where I want to see gold come towards, if you're looking for 1 minute continuation cells, is towards right here. The reason being is that this supply broke all of these demands, even this supply, but I think we're going to induce that supply and then come into this one. So we're just going to use that liquidity. And then where we're shorting to, we would probably short towards this area of demand, right? This is where we want to short to. This is a very, actually, I think we're going to go to this one. I think it's a little bit better because of the 15-minute, because that's a big ass gap. Not a gap, but like I said, it's a very big demand. So you're simply gonna wait and see. Price pull back. I don't see a point to long yet, so we're gonna wait. And you're simply gonna wait for confirmation, right? And the confirmation is here. So let's hit candle closure. Okay, we could look to short here. Are we gonna put it like that? Okay, that's not a bad trade. We could take this one. See what happens next. Come up a little bit more. Okay, I see. Maybe look for another sell from here if it comes. Okay, there was no chalk flip, so no entry. Oh, we better get cooked by the stops. See what happens next. Okay, now I want to go to TP. That's crazy. So we took out these lows now, right? We took out all of these lows. Now let's see if there was a potential reaction of any sort of demand we maybe missed, because sometimes you miss demands, that's just normal. So we could be looking at this area of demand. So these lows were just inducement of that demand. We had a nice reaction, so what we're looking for is a nice continuation to the upside, right? We have taken we have a nice reaction out, so we had a nice wick down, push up, retest, break. So now we're waiting for another retest to the area of demand where we want a long from, right? So let's wait and look for this area of demand to get some longs in. So this is where I would be looking for longs. Stops is low. Target, I would be looking for where are we gonna target? I think maybe this supply right here, right? This is where we could potentially have a trade off. So let's see what happens. Go into a little bit of drawdown, which is fine. Come for the retest, come for retest once again, come for... Okay, we hit a stops, whatever. Let's look what gold does next. Okay, we have a chalk flip now here. Now where do we react from, right? We're not gonna look at every chalk flip and then like, okay, we're gonna long here. Where did we react off? So it looks like we took out these lows. We mitigate a little bit deeper into the demand. We took out all of these lows as inducement, which we got induced ourselves, whatever. You have the chalk and the flip, so now you wait for the retest into this area of demand, which we kind of got. But I want to see a deeper pullback though. And we're still targeting the same place again. So maybe still get a pullback. So there is the pullback. Here you could look for the trade, right? This is a nice reaction. Kind of missed the entry. The risk reward is pretty shit, so not taking that one. Actually, we could have entered on the retest, so we kind of missed that. Maybe if it comes back again, I don't fucking know. Maybe if you come back to here, then be long, okay? Fucking ping pong at this point. Okay, that's a nice reaction actually. Just go down, fam. Don't be that scared. Okay, we're mitigating into the demand. Let's hit the chalk flip. Okay, here's the chalk flip. Entry, stop, TP. Now this reservoir is going to be looking better. 5.3, okay, that's a better one. Take the trade. Going to profit instantly, obviously, because we're built like that. If you break this high, you could always trade your stops higher. Look for a continuation setup. So yeah, we break this high, look for a continuation setup off. I mean, it's gonna be hard because we already mitigated kind of, so I would be looking to wait. So kind of got cooked there. Watch it fucking pump now. Oh, this is the FX replay glitch again. Oh, no. When is this? Monday 11. So this is yesterday, right? So let me look at Monday 11. What happened after this? This was here. So we didn't hit TP. It came all the way back down. Then today was really no entry besides this one. Besides that one, I didn't really see entry unless we had an entry here as well, right? This trade I took on my Funding Pips account. That was really the only entry I could see today. I don't know if you guys, and the longs, right? The longs were the longs from here were good as well towards this supply. So the longs from here until, so I know a friend who caught this long, which was, you know, after this chalk flip, after we mitigated into a demand of the 15-minute. Let me show you guys. We had a 15-minute demand here, right? With liquidity built up. If you can see exactly, we have taken this low, tagged into this demand. So it was a good one. You know, you had a chalk flip, you flip and then you break. So your entry would have been like this, stops to be obviously that low. And then you would simply target the supply as we did break structure, and the supply kind of that, you know, got us into the news wick with the 21.59 as well. That's a simple 5-hour, right? And then you could obviously short if you wanted that bad, but a 5-hour a day keeps 9 to 5 away, they say. Now for tomorrow, what do we see for tomorrow, right? We could simply see gold potentially pushing back into this area of supply, what I want to see potentially come here, or you know, it's very hard to say, but I don't think gold is gonna lose this area of demand because it's a big 1 hour break, unless you know it wants to induce us and go into this one, or even this one is also possible. So I would be eyeing these demands to long from if you pull back, and if you don't pull back, I would be eyeing this supply zone. I think this is gonna be used as an inducement, or what could happen is something like this. You could see this happen, right? We could see price come in here, then come down, and then go up. This could happen, but I'm not really favoring that. I think we're just gonna go straight up, which I don't know if you have news tomorrow. Flexx Factory. So we have about no news, so might not be for today, but I think the pullback, it's easier for us to comment to the demand than the supply, that's for sure. We'll have to see tomorrow though, because you never know what Asia is gonna do. We could fucking pump 10 quadrillion pips right now. We fucking don't know. Actually, today, you know, I got cooked on my live account. Which what happened was, fucking on my ACG live account, I was supposed to enter on CPI on thingy, what's it called? My 200k challenge account, but accidentally I entered on my live account, right? And then I got cooked on the live account, obviously. So live account got kind of shit on. But you know, I guess that's part of the game. We lost a 5k payout, but I did recover this one here. This one got breached because I copy traded. I was at 97k, fucking copy trading breach. But this one got breach of copy trading once again. So I had this one pass and this one got breached because of copy trading. This one breach of copy trading once again. I breached like 5 accounts because of copy trading. But this one's coming tomorrow. I've had fucking so many payouts. This one's probably coming tomorrow as well. So if you trade like me, get results like me. It's very simple, right? If you stay till the end, you're G. How long do you go like? Fucking 1 hour, 50 minutes, or whatever. 47 minutes to be exact, right? So yeah, that was it. You know, that was very simple. If you have questions, ask questions. You know, don't ask dumb questions. When you go into the Discord, yeah, when you come into the Discord, there's plenty of channels, okay? You get to the Get Started guide, no, not this one, you go to the Start guide, right? But then you see all this, right? You're thinking this is just a course. You have to read everything. If you don't read everything, you're not going to be successful because there's always pieces of everything, right? You have this one, this is pure text, I know, but it's very important. This is also very important. Liquidity, supply demand flip, supply demand validity, inducement, continuation model. I'm obviously going to record a new updated one because I've changed my strategy a little bit. Continuation model, so valid, manager trades, psychology, drawdown, how to get out of drawdown, how to collect data, how to journal, what institution drawdown is. Well, this is not really important, but you can always watch these. How to backtest, the drill to funded, confirm with liquidity, confirmation model, this is seconds, it's the same thing. Supply demand chain, ping pong, intraday swing, introduction, choose whatever. You already know facts. How to pass a prop. I mean, a lot of videos are on YouTube, yes, but that's not really the big important part because we are gonna cook a little bit more. Then you have all these channels. And then you have session folds, right, which there's plenty of videos which are not marked on YouTube or uploaded, whatever. For example, this one is not, this one is private, right? This was a backtesting of last week, right? So the stats were actually pretty good, but I don't think I'm showing that. Nah, I'm not showing that, but like, what's this one? 100 peaks. Yeah, whatever. So you gotta watch all of that, right? Then we have the breakdowns. Pretty much a lot of trade breakdowns you can watch, you can learn from, whatever you want to do. Then you can ask the questions, put your backtesting stats here, like looking at these stats, 15 trades, who gives a fuck, right? You're supposed to collect more than 100 trades. Markup's kind of dead, can't lie, but I did mark that on the live yesterday. That was actually a very good one. But I used to post markets every day, but like now it's kind of a little bit more tricky because especially now. I mean, I could upload this one actually. Let me look at the 50-minute. Right. Actually, 5 minutes better. We'll see how these play out tomorrow. Okay. Then if we look at EU, what's EU gonna do? Well, EU is a little more tricky, so I'm not gonna touch EU. I think. I wouldn't touch a pair anyway. And then the suggestions, I will take the suggestions into consideration. Maybe take a video, 1 or 2. Just very busy right now. Like working 12 hours is not easy, bro. Trust me, working 12 hours a day. Then coming home, doing a fucking live session for you guys. It's actually tiring. But it is what it is. You know, it's part of the game. It's part of the grind. Part of getting rich. If you're gonna get rich, you gotta sacrifice stuff. Anyways, that was it. You know, I waffled too much. Now I gotta drink 10 million liter of water. We'll do this again, fuck knows when, maybe at the end of the week. Yeah, probably end of the week, you know, then we can get the whole week through. So let me also stop the recording and then